Hello everyone, I welcome all of you to this lecture. In last lecture, we have seen basics of signal flow graphs. Means what? We have seen different terminologies that are used in a signal flow graph. Okay, so if you see this diagram, this is a typical signal flow graph of a system, and in that system, if you see these dots are called as nodes. Okay, so if you see this particular signal flow graph, inside this there are number of nodes. So y1, y2, y3, y4, y5 and y6, these are the nodes. Okay, and the line which is joining two nodes can be called as a branch. Okay, for example, if you see this line which is joining node y1 and y2 can be called as a branch. Okay, and the branch is having two important things. One is it is having direction. Okay, so if you see this is the forward direction of this branch, and if you see this branch which is joining y5 and y3, it is having a reverse direction. Okay, similarly, if you see this branch which is joining y5 and y3, it is having reverse direction or reverse arrow like this one, because the signal is flowing from this direction to this direction, and the gain is having 5u3, a5u3 we can say. Okay, so this is typically a diagram of a signal flow graph, and two important things you have to understand, that is a branch and a node. Again I am repeating, the dots are the nodes and this arrow is nothing but your branch. Okay, and each and every branch is having a gain which is written over that. Okay, so for example, if you see the gain of this branch which is joining y5 and y6, so the gain is a5u6 and direction is like this from left to right side. Okay, so these things we have seen or covered in last lecture. Now we have to move towards the next point, that is conversion of a block diagram into signal flow graphs. Okay, so we have to follow following steps while converting block diagram into equivalent signal flow graph. Okay, the first thing is that you have to represent all the signals, variables, summing points and takeoff points of a block diagram as a nodes. Okay, now suppose if you want to convert any block diagram into a signal flow graph, then what you have to do is that you have to just represent all the signals, variables, then summing points and all the takeoff points into a nodes. Okay, so how to do that we will see in upcoming slides. Okay, the next thing is that you have to represent the blocks of a block diagram as a branches in a signal flow graph. Okay, means suppose there are number of blocks in block diagram, okay, like G1, G2 that we have seen. So we have to represent that each block with the help of a branch. Okay, so why to do that? Just see here, the represent the transfer function inside the block of a block diagram as a gains of the branches in a signal flow graph. Okay, so generally that block is representing gain and branch is also having gain. So that's why we have to represent or replace that block with a branch or blocks with the branches. Okay, so transfer function inside the block of a block diagram is nothing but a gain. Okay, so that's why if you are replacing each and every block with the help of a branch, then you should write a gain of that above that branch, and that gain is generally represented inside the block. Then connect the nodes as per the block diagram. We have to connect all the nodes as per the block diagram. So we have to see the forward path, reverse path carefully, and as per that we have to assign the values and we have to draw the graph. If there is a connection between two nodes, okay, if there is a connection between two nodes but there is no block in between, okay, so which case can be here? See, then represent the gain of branches of 1. Okay, means what? If there is a connection between two nodes but there is no block in between, so such type of condition may be two summing points, it may be between two takeoff points, it may be between summing point and takeoff point, it may be between input and summing point. Okay, so such a node or such a branch will be replaced with a gain of 1. Okay, so then represent the gain of a branch as a 1, means above that branch you have to write 1 as a gain, because it is directly connecting, in between that there is no any block. Okay, so this is very important thing. So these 2 to 3 things you have to keep in mind to convert any block diagram into signal flow graph. Just represent all signal variables, summing points and take-up points as a nodes. Then all blocks as a we can say branches. Then block of gain is nothing but a block gain is nothing but a branch gain. Then if there is no any block in between two nodes, then we have to represent that node gain as a or branch gain as a 1. Okay, so these things you have to keep in mind. Then see the example. Let us convert the following block diagram into its equivalent flow graph. Okay, now for your better understanding, I have just replaced the variables or summing points or a take-off points with a node. Okay, so if you see, I have written already y1, y2, y3, y4. These are not parts of a block diagram. These are the parts of a signal flow graph, this y1, y2. But for your understanding, already I have written that how to present the node. Okay. For example, if you see this first summing point, so as per this rule, represent all signal variable summing points and take-up points as a nodes. Okay, so that's why if you see this summing point, so this summing point will be replaced by the node y1. This summing point will be replaced by node y2. Okay, now see carefully. This is most important thing. See, in between this G2 and G3, I am taking another node. So why I am doing like this? Because if you see, the gain of the left side of this node is different and gain of the right side of this node is different. This is not a common node, so or common block. So that's why what I am doing here is that I am just taking one node in between this, because again it is a variable. So represent all the signal variables, summing points and take-off points with the help of nodes. Okay, so just like I am doing this. Now this is a take-off point, so it is very easy to allocate a node here. Again this is summing point. Again I am representing a node here. This is again take-off point. Okay, so again if you see, this is the summing point. So here y7 will be given. For this dot, y8 will be given, and for this take-up point, again I am giving another node, that is y9. Okay, now what we have to do is that we have to draw the diagram. But before that, let's see what we have done. Represent the input signal Rs and output signal Cs of a block diagram as a input node Rs and output node Cs. See, this is the input signal and this is the output signal, and by this rule that we have mentioned, the signal must be represented with the help of nodes. So that's why what we are doing is that the input Rs is represented with the input node. Okay, so that we will see in next diagram or next slides, and output signal is represented with the help of output node Cs. Okay, so that we will see. So just for the reference, the remaining nodes y1 to y2 are labeled in the block diagram. Just I have mentioned that, and there are 9 nodes other than input and output nodes that you have to keep in mind. So here I have not mentioned the input and output node, just in between nodes I have mentioned, that is from y1 to y9. So there are 9 nodes other than the input and output nodes. So okay, so there are 4 nodes for summing point, there are 4 nodes for take-up points, 1 node for variable between block G1 and G2. Okay, so y3 is a variable node, so that's why we have taken in between this. So why I have taken y3? Again I am repeating, because the if you see this point, from this point if you take left side point, that is a G1, that is another gain, and right side gain is different. So I have to locate one node here. Okay, that's it, because the gain of this left side branch and right side branch are different, so I have to mention here as a variable. Okay, so this is all about the things we have discussed now. Now this is the following figure, which is equivalent of this diagram. Okay, see carefully what we have done, or just see next slide what we have done. The same diagram is represented here. Okay, so this is Rs, then this is a Ys. Okay, so this is the input node and this is the output node. Okay, so it is not Y, it is Ys. Okay, now the input and the output node are represented here. This is the input node rs, again I am repeating, this is the output node ys. So in between that, what we have done, that I am going to explain now. So what we have done, I have replaced this summing point with the node y1. Okay, so if you see, this is node y1, but if you see in between this res, so this is res and this is ys. So in between this res and this y1, there is no any gain, so I have to replace with 1, and the arrow is from left to right side. Okay, so though it is not what we can say visible here, it is res. Okay, that you have to keep in mind. So this is res, this is ys, here it is res, here it is ys. I am repeating. So in between this res and this y1, I have shown one branch and having a gain, okay, as a 1, because if there is no any gain, then it should be denoted by 1, that we have already discussed. Now let us see the forward path first. Then what we have done, we have replaced the line in between this y1 and y2 with this branch, okay, and the gain is 1. So for this summing point, I have taken a node as a y2. Okay, now see here, in between this g1 and g2, I have taken y3 node, because left side is different part and right side is different part, so I have to locate one node is here. So if you see this branch which is joining this y2 and this y3, this block is replaced with a branch, but now see carefully, this branch again is now what, g1, because previously we have seen in this diagram, in this slide, that is the transfer function inside the blocks of a block diagram as a gains we have to represent. Okay, so that's why what we have done is that we have replaced this block with a branch and having a gain as a g1. Similarly, in between y3 and y4, the branch should be replaced, this block should be replaced with a branch, and it will be having a gain as a g2. So if you see carefully, this y3, so sorry, this y3 to y4, this block is replaced with a branch and having a gain as a g2, and the direction is like this, because we are just observing the forward path. Now we will see afterwards how the reverse path is taken. Okay, now from this y4 to this takeoff point, again for the takeoff point we have to take another, what we can say, branch. Okay, so for this takeoff point I have taken as a y4. Okay, so this is a y4, and in between that g2 we have replaced with the branch and again as a g2, that we have discussed. Now for this y5, again we have taken another node. Okay, and from this y5 to y6, because this is a summing point and this is a takeoff point, so we have to replace this summing point and takeoff point with the nodes. So that's why this summing point is replaced with y5, and this takeoff point is replaced by y6, and in between that there is a branch and again is having 1, because in between there is no any gain. So this, if you see this y5 and y6, in between there is no any gain, so that's why the gain is a 1. Similarly, this g3 should be replaced with a branch. Okay, because every block should be replaced with a branch, and the gain is written over that. The transfer function inside the block is nothing but a gain of the branch. So this g3 is replaced by, we can say, this branch in between y6 and y7, because for this y7, for this summing point we are taking a node as a y7. So this y6 to y7, in between this block should be replaced with a branch. Okay, and the gain will be what, g3. So just I have denoted that gain. Okay, then if you see from this y7 to y8, y7 should be another node and y8 should be another next node for this takeoff point. Y7 should be this for this summing point. So in between this there is no any gain, so that's why I have replaced this with a branch and having a gain as a 1. See carefully. Then lastly what we have to do is that again we have to take another node for this take up point. Okay, so for this take up point, I have taken the next node as a y9. Now this block should be replaced with a branch. Okay, so which branch? This y8 to y9, and the branch gain should be the block's gain itself. So that's why the G5 is written over here. Okay, and lastly, this take up point should be connected to the output node. So this is your output node, that is ys. Okay, and it is connected from y9 to y6. Okay, and the gain is 1 because there is no any block in between this dot and the output. Okay, again I am repeating why we have taken this extra node, because the output is again a signal, so that's why we have to take one extra node, just like we have taken a node for the input, that is for RS. Okay, so now see what reverse parameters we have taken. Now if you see the first thing, that is I have taken the signal from this y8 and that is connected to the y1. So if you see, it is taken from y8 and connected to the y1, and the gain is nothing but h2. Okay, now see carefully, this is very important. The gain of this branch is nothing but the gain of this block, that we have written h2. But why it is positive? Because we have connected a positive feedback. If we are connecting this signal to the positive of the stemming point, then it can be considered as a positive feedback. If it is connected to the negative point like this one, then it can be called as a negative feedback. Okay, so we are taking the signal from y8, that's take up point. Then the gain of this branch is nothing but the block's gain, that is h2, and it is positive because the feedback is a positive. Okay, similarly, if you see this second part or second reverse path, it is taken from y4 node and it is connected to y2. So it is taken from y4 and it is connected to y2, but now it is connected to the negative part of a summing point, so that's why the branch gain should be minus h1. Okay, so just like this one, this minus h1. Okay, so this thing we have done. Now the next part is we have taken the signal from y6 and connected to the this y8. Otherwise I can say that it is taken from this take up point and it is connected to this summing point. Okay, so it is taken from y6 node or take up point and connected to the it is connected to y7. So it is connected to y7. This is y8, sorry, this is connected to y7. Okay, and the gain is what? The gain is G4. So it is written over here over the branch. It is not G3, the G3 is a below branch gain, so this is a G4. Okay, now the last thing is that one which is taken from y9 to y5. Okay, so it is taken as a y9 to y5, but the feedback is negative, so that's why it is replaced with a branch gain as a minus h3. This block is represented here and the minus sign is for negative feedback. Okay, so these things we have seen. So this is the simple representation of a signal flow graph of this block diagram. Okay, so this block diagram we have converted into signal flow graph. Okay, so previously we have seen how to simplify this block diagram and find the transfer function of the signal. Okay, similarly what we have to do is that we have to just convert this block diagram into the signal flow graph, and with the help of signal flow graph different types of equations we have to derive, and we have to find again the gain of this branch. So ultimately the output of this and this should be same, but the method will be different. The method for this one we have seen already, and for this one we have to see in coming lectures what should be the method, how to calculate the gain. Okay, so this is all about the signal flow graph, converting the signal flow graph from a block diagram. Okay, so this part we have covered in today's lecture. So in next lecture we will see the Mason's gain formula to calculate the gain of the given transfer function. Okay, so what you can do is that you can just take more examples of this block diagram and just try to convert this block diagram into the signal flow graph, which is again very simple. Just practice this because this is the most important thing that you have to do, because if you falsely convert this signal into this block diagram into signal flow graph, then your answer will be wrong. Okay, so the first step that you have to do is that you have to correctly convert this diagram into signal flow graph, and after that we have to solve. If this diagram is wrong, then your exam output result will be wrong. Okay, so that's why the first thing that you have to do is that you have to convert this block diagram into this one. Okay, sometimes they may give you the direct this direct diagram for a solution, or sometimes they may give you this diagram, then you have to convert into the signal flow graph, and then you have to solve with the Mason's gain formula. Okay, so this part we will see in next lecture. So till now just take the example and practice that how that block diagram is converted into the given signal flow graph. Okay, so thank you very much. Let us meet in the next lecture.